Hey, peace, love, harmony, and light. This is Chief Kalanago with another video. I'm just out here, man, walking through the streets of Brooklyn. And, sometimes I have to ask myself, I've asked this question, before, over and over again. Am I the only one that's seeing what's going on? Or maybe everybody else is kind of seeing, but, well, you know what? Not everybody's seeing, because some people are so distracted, they don't know what's going on around them, period. But I am certainly sure that there are more than enough people who are aware of what's going on. And it's sad because our neighborhoods are being taken over by Caucasians. And people don't seem to have a problem with that. It's like, oh, it's all good. The Caucasians are moving in. Me personally, I don't have anything against any ethnic group, but the way Caucasians do things, they do it in such a non-threatening way. But they are a big threat because now they are moving into our neighborhoods. The rent is being raised. Our people are being homeless, and people are not seeing that. I remember when Caucasians didn't want to be in Brooklyn, period. And they came, they took over Clinton Hills, they took over Bed-Stuy. Now they over here, taking over Flatbush, and eventually they're going to take over East New York, because all this is prime location. And our people don't realize what we have. You never know what you have until you lose it. And all over the neighborhood is construction going up. They setting up little bars, and now they're able to take, extend the sidewalk and put stools and put tables. But when we were in our neighborhoods, we couldn't do that because it was a problem. It was against city codes. And people don't realize that these people speak a certain language. And the language that they speak, we don't speak it because they speak in codes. And everybody think it's okay. Everybody think it's all right. But my brothers and sisters, you have to realize that everything you have, it has already been taken. And the little that you do have left, well, I guess that's an oxymoron, huh? Saying everything you have been taken, but little bit you got left. But let me rephrase that. Pretty much the majority of what we have, our birthright first was taken away from us. Our identity was taken away from us. Our property was taken away from us. Now look, the little that we have left is being taken away, and our people just living their lives callously. Nobody's standing up to anything. What's going on? I'm speechless. It baffles me. And I'm not mad at the Caucasians. Honestly, I'm not, because they're doing what they are supposed to do. They're coming together. Okay, they stick together. They spend their money with each other. They support each other. They build each other. And guess what? They all may not get along. And that's a fact. I know that for a fact, because I know Caucasians who don't get along with certain Caucasians. But when there's a job, guess who they call? They call their Caucasian friends. No, I'm not saying, of course, that's the case with every Caucasian, because this is not a video to bash Caucasians. No. All right? I'm certainly sure you may have one or two, exceptions where a Caucasian may look out for a brother or a sister, but I'm talking about the majority of them. Okay? They look out for themselves, just like every other ethnic groups. Africans come here and they do the same thing. Arabs come here and do the same thing. Asians come here and do the same thing. Everybody's coming to leave the American so-called dream. But the true Americans, the true aboriginals, they are living a nightmare. We are living a nightmare in our own home, and we don't seem to think that there is a problem with that. Or at least if we think there's a problem, then we have so many distractions. It's like you're a drug addict, right? And you're strung out. And you have a problem. But because you can't deal with the problem, you take more drugs, or you take a less, catastrophic drug. It's the same thing with our people. We see the devastation of our people that's happening, but we stay distracted because we don't want to focus on the problem. So we continue to watch the TV shows. We continue to watch sports. We continue to go to bars and drink and turn up because that's what everybody in Brooklyn is doing now. Men go to parties and men don't even dance with women no more. They go to clubs and they stand around and buy bottles, and women are doing the same thing. Everybody's showing off who could buy bigger bottles and who could buy more bottles and who could drink more and who could smoke more. Everybody's always on their cell phone, not looking at anything that's going to help them advance, or not reading or not studying. Again, it's all about distractions. You know, a few months ago, I think, or a few weeks ago, a so-called black woman got beat up in a nail salon, an Asian nail salon. And they in front of the Asian nail salon protesting, you know what I mean, rallying, while the people have another store a few blocks up. Okay, but that's not the point. Regardless of the situation, they have other nail salons throughout Church Avenue, and our people is crowded in there. It's like a disease. From Wednesday to Sunday, actually from Tuesday to Sunday, those nail salons are crowded. And my thing is, what is that mental disease? Why can't you do your own nails? I mean, I don't see a problem with that. Why do you think you have to go sit at some other ethnic group business or in their business to get your nails done and patronizing them? And our own people who got nail salons, you don't support them because they have taught you again that everybody could do everything better than you can. You could do it better than you can do it for yourself. And this is not to knock our sisters, but I'm just showing you the mental disease, okay, that's rampant in our communities. And it's like I'm walking around, and am I the only one who's aware? Am I the only one who's woke and willing to stand up and speak and do something about it? My brothers and sisters, we're prisoners of war in our own land. And then you have these so-called Negroes calling themselves Aborigines, but yet still they want to be federally recognized like natives. They call themselves natives because they themselves are taking the bag. And just a few days ago, I saw a brother on Instagram in a video with another brother, two popular brothers. They linked up together. And they're talking about, oh, well, one of them talking about, oh, well, it doesn't matter, you know, what you call yourself or where you think you're from as long as we stick together. No, it does matter. It does matter. The reason why it matters is because other ethnic groups do not care about us and our conditions. So it does matter. Because all they were taught is, listen, when you go to America, which everybody think the United States is America, you only go for one purpose. Well, two purposes. To better yourself, okay, and to make money, which of course, you know, is a way of bettering yourself, or to learn. So essentially, it's to better yourself. And that has always been the case. The entire world has always come here to better themselves. But the original people of the land seem to be getting worse. And please, my brothers and sisters, don't take this the wrong way. I am speaking on a general scale, okay? I'm talking about the status quo. So I'm not talking about the one or two individuals who are doing extremely well and know who they are. And if you are in that position, why aren't you reaching out to those who are less fortunate? Not to give them anything, but to give them the knowledge and let them know who they are. And it's funny how I got into a taxi today, what we call dollar cabs. You know, going down Church Avenue, they have dollar cabs that take the bus route. It used to be $1 years ago, but they raised it to $2, so we still call them dollar cabs. And an African brother, I just sparked a conversation because I had my indigenous attire and they were asking questions. So when everybody got off, I was the only one left in the car. So I said, my brother, can I ask you a question? He said, sure. I'm like, where are you from? He said, Africa. I said, Africa is a continent. Immediately, he said, Nigeria. That was perfect. Got that out of the way. So he knew he has a nationality. So I said, my brother, and, I don't mean to be funny. I have no agenda except for trying to get a better understanding of how my African brothers view things from, the theories that are being told. So I asked them, do you believe that every so-called black person or black people came from Africa? You know what the brother told me? He said no. He said everybody didn't come from Africa. At least that's not what I believe. He said that everybody have their own belief, and he believed that God made people and put them in different places. But yes, a lot of people migrated from Africa, but I don't believe everybody's from Africa. But it's ironic that the American Aborigines, for the most part, the majority of them think they're African. And I asked him if I could record him saying that. I said, hey, I'm not going to show your face. I just want to hear you say it. So I recorded it. Okay, I recorded it. So at the ending of the video, I'll play it, and then you will hear it for yourself. But the point I'm trying to make is, at what point are we going to take responsibility for our lives? At what point are we going to stand up and say enough is enough? And for all you Negroes who call yourself Aboriginals, but yet still you want to be federally recognized and be considered a native, you a sellout. Because I know a lot of y'all already sold out by claiming to be Native Americans to get tribal cards, to get benefits. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you ain't got to do what you got to do. All right? But stop being an agent. Let people know the truth, man. Let them know the truth. You see, and that's why for me, my truth and the truth is the same, because I speak the truth. And one thing I know about the truth is that the truth is never popular. And that's why my videos will not be popular. That's why the message that I bring will not be popular. You feel me? Because people will get as close to the truth as possible, but they're going to give it to you with some deception. And that's what they're doing. So now they're saying, oh, well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you call yourself as long as we stick together. No, the hell it ain't. Because that has never been the case. Even when you look in nature, one of my friends did an experiment. He's a medical, a science student. And he went into Prospect Park. It's a park in Brooklyn. And he went into the dirty water. It might be a pond or a lake. All right? But it's man-made. And the water, of course, is dirty. And they always warn people, don't drink the water in Prospect Park. So what he had to do as a science project was to take some water from that pond or that lake, whatever they call it, and see what life is in that water. Why is it so poisonous? And you know what he told me? And guess what? He told me that today because he interviewed me today about, being an American Aborigine, our culture. And when he was telling me, he told me, hey, Chief, when I took a drop of water, just a drop of water, not a bucket of water, not a cup, not a glass, but a drop, with one of the little tubes, a little test, not a test tube, but one of the little tubes, you squeeze and I forgot the name of it. But anyway, one of those little drop things, like a droplet. So he took a scoop, a droplet of that water, and he put it underneath a microscope. And he said, Chief, you know what? I was amazed because when I looked at the microscope underneath that little bit of water, I saw there was some enzymes. I don't know what they were, but there was life. And what I realized was it might have been planktons or whatever it was. I'm not sure. I don't want to misquote what the brother said, but the moral of the story is this. When he looked underneath the microscope, he realized that, there was an organism just sucking the life out of other smaller ones. And it was just pulling them in and pulling them in and eating them up. It was eating them up alive. And he was amazed. And I told him, my brother, that's exactly what nature is supposed to be. That's why we're supposed to stick to our own. Because even in nature, animals, plants, whatever you want to call them, anything with life, they are tribal. And that's what that little bacteria, it was a bacteria, I think, yeah, that's the word that he used. That bacteria was tribal because it was eating everything else around it, and they were trying to get away and pull themselves back in a little droplet of water. But here we are, our people, we are tribal people, but we want to mix with everybody else. We want everybody else to be up in our business. You feel me? Brothers have pit bulls, and you cannot get a brother to cross mix his pit bull because he wants his pit bull to remain pure. I'm going to repeat myself. Brothers have pit bulls, and you cannot give a brother $1 million to crossbreed his pit bull with another inferior dog. That's right, because he wants his pit bull to remain pure. But our brothers want to go sleep with every other ethnic group on the planet except his own. And that's just some brothers. Okay, because for me, I will only lay with an Aboriginal woman. Nothing less for me. Why would I want to give up the best and go sleep with the worst? Now, y'all could take this whichever way you want, or what's more inferior. And I'm talking about genetically wise or genetics wise. But the point I'm trying to make is, this is not to cast hate. This is to show light on what's happening to our people. We were a tribal people, but we allowed that infiltration, and now we are prisoners of war. And the biggest gentrification advocate is the Caucasian woman. That's right, because they're gangsters nowadays. All right, when they used to be afraid to come to Brooklyn, now they're the ones coming to Brooklyn taking over. Oh honey, we gotta move to Brooklyn. And he make it happen. You see, y'all underestimating the Caucasian woman. Y'all want to be like them, but the truth of the matter is they want to be more like you. But because of the education, making you think that you're inferior. So they are the biggest advocate, and they are the leaders of gentrification. But you would know that though. You would know that. Because they are the ones that's putting things in motion. While they have our sisters hating our men hating our sisters, our men calling sisters bitches. You know what I'm saying? And that's all our people do. Turn up, drink, smoke, and that's the problem, because we're about to be homeless, and y'all don't realize that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't realize that, man. And it's sad. It's sad. It's really, it hurts. And every single day I'm asking the Most High, what can I do? The Most High said, just continue doing what you're doing. Because not everybody's going to get it. Everybody wasn't meant to get it. But still, it still doesn't change the fact it hurt. I cry for my people. How could we allow this? This beautiful land, the most richest land on the planet. Okay? Before they gave y'all the theory of the size of Europe. When in actuality, back in the days, Europe wasn't even bigger than Ohio. That's a fact. Until they started changing that around, fooling you, telling you lies, and you fall for the lies. But my brothers and sisters, you are at war. You just don't know you're at war. Because you could get up and go to work, because you drive your car, because you could buy some food, because you could buy the most expensive iPhone. It doesn't mean that you're free. And for all you sellout Negroes going around calling yourself Aborigines, but yet still telling our people, oh, it doesn't matter where you're from or what you call yourself. No, it does matter. It does. Because nobody else is going to care about yours more than you. But I get the concept of those Negroes, because it's all about business for them. It's about commerce. You know who the master of commerce is? Well, not the master. We are the masters, but you know who mastered it? And we lost it? The so-called Jews, the Jesuits. That's right, Rome. Because we are being governed by Rome right now. So they learned commerce from us, and they mastered it, and they've made us slaves to their system. If you don't believe me, go find out who owned the world banks. Go find out who owned your birth certificates. Go find out who owned the New York Stock Exchange. Go find out who owned the politicians. Go find out who owned the president. Go find out who owned the Basketball Association. Go find out who owned the NFL. Go find out who owned the baseball, hockey. Go find out who owned all of those. That's right. The Jesuits. Yep. They're all part of a family, and you are their slave. You are their slave. Why you think they got the police in your neighborhoods? To enforce their policies to keep you in check. So you think you're free. No. You're just in a big ass plantation with some privileges. So my brothers and sisters, it's time to wake the hell up, man. And like I said, I'm only looking for a few. And it just seemed like, you know, that's why I know the road that I'm traveling is the right path, because the broad way always leads to destruction. Okay, it always leads to destruction, and it's those with the big platforms. They are the ones selling our people out. They're giving them truth, but they're giving them half truth. They're giving them truth, but they're selling them out in private. I know for a fact. And they're afraid to reach out to me. They are, because they know I'm gonna set them straight. I'm gonna call them out. So they're afraid to reach out to me. So they're gonna link up with other people that got big platforms and say, oh, well, it doesn't matter who we are. It doesn't matter where we're from. As long as we come together. Nah, that wasn't life. Everybody wasn't meant to come together. Even amongst our own people on the American continent, we had different tribes. We were together, but we were not together because we had different languages. And we learned to get along. But we had our tribal issues. So how the hell you're gonna bring a different stock of people, a different species among you and think that everything is gonna be okay? There's not gonna be chaos. No, they're gonna eat you alive, because that's what they came here for, to use you, to abuse you, enslave you. And you have to make up your mind. Are you gonna die for what's yours? That's it. Or you're gonna continue to be a slave. I got nothing more to say, man. I'm in the streets of Brooklyn. Peace. Hey, what's up, guys? This is Chief Kalanago. I'm in a dollar cab, what we call a kind of like a taxi out here in Brooklyn, and I just run into a Nigerian brother, right? So I was it's amazing how I brought up the conversation about life or being originated in Africa. When I asked him, does he believe life originated in Africa? What did you say?
Brother, good to have you here, and I must tell you, everybody has his own personal belief, but personally, I never believed that everybody migrated from lived in Africa. Okay. I believe that God created man, and people, only God knows exactly how he did it, but everybody never came from Africa. Right. Everybody never came from Africa. Just that a lot of migration took place in Africa during the ancient world. People came from different places in Africa and then migrated all over the world. Then our forefathers were actually trying to see how they can move for a better living, for a better life. So that made them to move in different places, have their family, have their children. But that never means God created everybody came from Africa.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Have a good one.
All right, have a great one. All right.
Thank you.
All right,
brother.
peace and love. All right, take care. All right. So once again, there you have it. And this video is not about whether we're from Africa or not. I have debunked that theory that life originated in Africa a million times, all right? But just to show you again that there are people that think for themselves, all right? And you heard it in his own words. Yes, life, he believed, didn't originate in Africa. And a lot of his forefathers, traveled the world looking for a better life. So once again, what does looking for a better life means? Meaning that they didn't have a good life there. And he said forefathers. So how long ago? That's been a while. So once again, it solidifies the truth that I speak when I tell you that every other culture came here to learn. They came here for a better life. There is nothing new under the sun. It's still happening today. Just to prove it again, that Chief Kalanago knows what he's talking about when he bring the truth to y'all. Okay, his forefathers, yes, migrated to look for a better life, but guess where most of them migrated to? So don't think it's just because of slavery. We're talking about forefathers here, way before slavery. Okay, we were already trading with different parts of the world. All right, so once again, this is Chief Kalanago, man. Maybe I'm just venting, I don't know what it is, but I just want to bring truth, man. Wanting my people to wake up, and time to make some moves, man. I'm looking for that 300. You know what I'm saying? I look at it this way. Give me freedom, give me my land back, give me my life back, or give me death. That's just me, though. I'm not asking everybody to be like me. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I still can't do live on this channel, so the link for the new channel is below. Go subscribe. All right, Chief Kalanago, the new channel. I have 100 subscribers right now. I'm trying to get to 300, so please go subscribe. All right, so we could get into some lives. I have some more information, but it's, to me, I would rather it be more interactive. You see this right here, all you could do is listen to that, and I can't share anything on there in terms of going through lectures. So at least with the live I could do that. So the link below is on the for the new channel is below this video. So please go ahead, subscribe, and we got work to do, man. All right, we got work to do. Time to get our affairs in order. Time to regain the throne. All right, love you guys. Peace.